told, we are joined in by Sanjeev Sanyal, author, historian, and member of the Prime Minister's Economic Advisory Council. Very good afternoon to you, Mr. Sanyal. You know, I am tempted to ask you this question: how to retrieve history from the straitjacket of constitutionalism?
Well, I think the Sengol is a very good symbol of the sovereignty of the Indian people, as I have stated earlier as well. The Sengol was taken from Lord Mountbatten to Nehru. That was not an act of transferring of sovereignty from Mountbatten to Nehru. It was an act of transferring sovereignty from the British Crown to the people of India. So to have kept that Sengol away as some personal walking stick is utterly shocking. So I'm very, very happy that it has been installed in the place that it should have been installed in the first place, which is in the Lok Sabha, as a symbol of the sovereignty of the Indian people. And I can say that with doing this, we bring to a close the entire cycle of Purna Swaraj. We finally have Purna Swaraj.
Yeah, okay. So I take this forward. You know, I would put the same question with little different words, but then try to get a different answer in the context of the debate we are having, Mr. Sanyal. How to balance the imperatives of drawing strength from our roots against modernism, which is in some versions a little deracinated modernism, which can make us rootless wonders.
So this is precisely what is being attempted here. I mean, if you take the new Parliament building, for example, it is a good mix of the modern with the traditional. And so you will see, for example, there is modernity everywhere. The chambers themselves, as you can see, are totally modern. The seats are modern. They are equipped with the latest digital technology. The voting will be done in an entirely digital way. So the whole thing is properly air-conditioned, wiring, everything is absolutely super modern. And yet, when you enter it, there are these Guardian statues. In the hall, there is the Sengol. You will see if you go to the galleries, these have not been highlighted, but if you go to the actual Parliament, you will see between the various sections, there are these galleries which celebrate Indian art, Indian culture, Indian history. So what you have here is a good mix that, yes, we are a modern nation, but we draw our strength from an ancient civilization of which we are very proud.
Right. Mr. Sanyal, also Sengol in many ways, as we understand it now, it's unfortunate that for all these decades, we did not know about its presence, forget about the larger history. But now that we know, it comes out as a symbol of good governance, of righteous governance, and sort of acts as a lighthouse in the sight of the ruler about
Absolutely.
how the conduct should be. Now, what's the problem? Just putting the context of the debate, what's the problem if we draw from our past a symbol of good governance and center stage it in our parliament or modern day governance? Just because there was no Christianity, no Islam, there was no other context per se in terms of other religions. If we are drawing from our past, a secular past, because remember, when the Sangam literature was written, some people claim that it's pre-Vedic. What's the problem if we are using it in a modern context?
Well, I don't know what the problem is, because you should ask those who have a problem with it. What the Sengol does is that it is the Raj Danda. It is the symbol of the state. Incidentally, by the way, that is also true of the Mauryan lions. It's a symbol of the state. It's not some pacifist symbol or symbol of Buddhism and other things that it's said to be. The Mauryan lions in the lion capital also represent the power of the state. And the same thing is true of the Rajadanda. It is basically the power of the state, the sovereignty. Now, in this particular context, it's the sovereignty of the Indian people, which is why it is being placed in of course, the Lok Sabha, which is where the representatives of the people sit. So it's a very clear that it's about the sovereignty of the people. As I said, I am utterly shocked that this was then placed in a private museum as a walking stick. Frankly, most of us, including myself, had no idea it existed till a few months ago. So, the very fact that, we have rediscovered it in some ways, the transfer of power symbolically to the people of India, which unfortunately seems to have been almost symbolically again hijacked into private hands, has been retrieved and put where it deserves to be.
Right. Thank you so much, Mr. Sanjeev Sanyal, member of the Prime Minister's Economic Advisory Council and author, historian in his own right, for joining us with that perspective on history, civilizational history versus constitutionalism, among other things. The debate will continue. We are taking a short break, I believe, and we come back on the other side.